Welcome to First Amendment Media Fantasy Sports. Today we're going to go over some sleepers. The fantasy season is right around the corner. We got to cover those guys that are late round picks that are going to be worth, and it's going to be paying you off at the end of the year, winning you the championships, just like Jerome Ford did for me last year. And that is going to be a huge sleeper, in my opinion, because with Nick Chubb back, what's going to happen to Jerome Ford? He's going to get pushed back to second. He's still going to get the carries because he's an elusive back. Very, very, very good back. So
he is good back.
We're going to start it off. We're going to hit top 3 sleepers on each position. And some of these are going to be obvious. You know, like we're not trying to rework the wheel.
Nah.
But
reinvent the wheel. You're the
reinvent
third
the
person that's messed that up in front of me in the last 3 days. I give
it's
up.
rework,
It's reinvent. Never mind.
It doesn't matter. But we are going to have obviously ones, but that'll give you some confidence going into it, going, oh, well, these guys think it's the same thing. So I'm seeing some traction with these guys. And so Colton, who do you got as a quarterback sleeper?
Well, Ben, I'm glad you asked. At number 1, I've got Anthony Richardson. Now,
Honestly. Okay.
yeah, the heck
Okay, I get it.
So
He's hurt.
he was hurt last year.
Yep.
Okay. We were all expecting big things from him before. Like when I say big things, I'm thinking, 20 and 12 in terms of touchdown to interception ratio.
I was thinking bigger. I was thinking like probably 25, 15.
Okay.
And 8 rushing touchdowns.
8 rushing touchdowns, maybe like 800 yards.
Yeah.
I think he's a sleeper mainly because he was injured last year, but also the fact that there's so much to learn in the NFL game if you're a quarterback, and
he's smart.
And he's smart, and that's another thing that people did not give him credit for. And he's got weapons. So I think that you got Jonathan Taylor, Downs coming up out of North Carolina. I think he's in for a big year too.
Do you think he's going to be hesitant as far as with the injury coming off of it? Do you think it's going to be a slow go, or do you think he's going to be ready to go?
I think he's a baller. I think he's a guy that's just like, you know what? Let's just sling it. He is Cam Newton 2.0. I'm saying that
Cam Newton wouldn't even jump on a fumble, so I don't know.
Tender subject. Sorry,
Super
Panthers
Bowl.
fans. Horrible. I saw that highlight the other day, and
I don't want it.
oh my gosh, dude. Of course, Von Miller was bearing down on him, but it doesn't matter. That's a Super Bowl, man.
And he's Superman.
That's true. And you couldn't. That's a good point. Anyway, I think Anthony Richardson is my first name off the list here. He's a sleeper, a late round quarterback that, let's say your main quarterback has a bye maybe later in the season, and Anthony
Or if you're in
Richardson's
that
just
double,
sitting there.
if you got 2 quarterbacks in your
Yeah.
league, that's Anthony Richardson's one of those to fill out. He's gonna start every week and get you those points.
Yep.
And I'm thinking like 18 to 25 is probably a
Gonna be
safe bet
solid, yep.
for Anthony Richardson every week.
Agreed.
My sleeper, it's not really a sleeper, but I think Kirk Cousins is going to
God dang it.
thrive
Okay. All
in
right.
Atlanta.
Well, this is why I picked
Not
5,
only
not
will
3.
Kirk Cousins thrive in Atlanta, he'll be MVP talks in Atlanta.
You see, this is what I hate. This is what I hate about.
And he does it. There's no pizza ranches to take his mind off.
I know,
the
right?
house.
He can just there's just Waffle Houses.
Yes,
down there.
Waffle
There's
Houses and no dentists that want him to be his spokesman.
Well, who knows? It's Atlanta. Maybe there's going to be somebody. But it's like, here's the thing. He got so much hate when he was with the Vikings because it was Kirk Cousins and it was the Vikings, and people were like, "Oh, he's a below 15 quarterback." But now everybody's picking him to be a sleeper and to be that guy.
This is why. Hear me out. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. Is he a great quarterback? Absolutely not. But look at the weapons that Kirk Cousins has in Atlanta.
Justin Jefferson,
Okay.
T.J. Hawkinson,
and
Jordan Addison.
That's
3 of the best. Like,
yeah, but the thing is Jordan Addison was a rookie when.
and he still went off for 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did all right.
with 4 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Okay.
But the offense is there. The defense is there.
Defense.
Kirk Cousins and the conference is weak.
That's the main thing.
Yes.
So the defense isn't bad for the Falcons. The conference is so weak
compared to what the Vikings are in right now.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
if like the Vikings conference, that's anybody's.
That's true.
Detroit. Obviously, Detroit's going to be the favorite,
Yeah.
but Green Bay is right
Right
behind
there.
them.
That's true.
And Minnesota could make some noise too,
I'm
depending
not-
on where the
putting-
quarterback situation
Yeah.
goes. I do think that
Think the
Minnesota.
Bears
could make
got a
some noise.
chance?
The
They
Bears
might?
the Bears are like the sleeper team
I know.
of the NFL
I
right
know.
now because some people are picking them to go deep into the play. A lot of it has to do with Caleb Williams.
Yeah. How good is he right out the gate? We'll
I
have
don't
to
think he's
see.
going to be any good.
Yeah,
That's just me.
He's got weapons, though. And that's another thing, too, is Justin Fields did not have the weapons or help that Caleb Williams did.
No, they are babying. It's the same thing that New England did as with Mac Jones to Drake May.
Yeah.
They gave Mac Jones zero help,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Hey, you're gonna follow Tom Brady. Good luck. Here you go."
You suck.
Yep.
Now
and,
it's
and now Drake May, and they're going out and getting good players.
yeah.
So
So I'm like, okay, it's
got
kind of a
Bolton.
catch-22. So okay, sorry, Kirk Cousins.
no, I think Kirk Cousins is. I think he's gonna have a solid year. I wouldn't be surprised if he's. I bet he's sitting at 32-7.
At least 4K.
Yeah, I would say probably 42. 4,200.
Okay.
And he's going to be he's going to be one of those guys that gets you 22, 22, 22, 40, 22, 22, 40.
Yeah.
When he plays those softer teams and they're throwing the ball really well. Obviously, Drake London. And it sounds like they're working Pitts. And if they can get Pitts involved, there's your
Ben.
sleeper.
For 3 seasons.
I know
I
Pitts
have
is
fallen for the stupid Kyle Pitts, the myth that Kyle Pitts is going to come out.
Yes.
I want to say, so 68 and 1,000, 1 touchdown is flipping fresh or rookie year.
But that's where Cousins is really good. Cousins isn't. They're going to score in the red zone, and they're going to have to use Pitts to score in the red zone. They struggled.
Yeah.
They were one of the worst teams in the NFL to score in the red zone.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I think another thing too is like I'm still going to draft Kyle Pitts like later in the
Yeah,
draft.
man.
I'm ready to get hurt again. Okay, this is the office. I am ready to get hurt again. Sorry, go ahead. So okay, you had Kirk Cousins,
who's your
second quarterback.
yeah?
So this one's going to be a little controversial. I'm going Kyler Murray
I like it.
because you finally they drafted the wide receiver you were dying.
If
for.
you heard me, I stand by it. He is
Okay.
going to be the closest thing we've seen to Randy Moss since Randy Moss.
Yep, and I don't necessarily disagree. I'm
Randy
really
Moss
excited.
and Calvin Johnson. It's like they've combined and
You were gonna say
you're
they
not
had a
getting-
baby.
Yeah, they had a baby. But I think, and obviously he comes from a really good pedigree.
Yeah, I mean,
His
it's in the
his
name.
dad wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. So I'm going Kyler Murray because they drafted the wide receiver that we were all drooling over in the draft. And honestly, I think that the Cardinals would have won a lot more games last year had they been healthy with Kyler Murray for most of the year. Now, they've also got a lot of other weapons, and I'll get to one of their other weapons a little bit later on. But, I think that they are a team that truthfully does have more than they truthfully have more than Marvin Harrison Jr. And so I think they've got a good running game. I think their offensive line is improving. I'm not going to say good, but it's improving. And there's another wide receiver I'd like to name by the name of Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson. Those two, I think, honestly, with good quarterback or with better offensive line play or running game, I think they're going to be tough to be reckoned with. Who do you got at number 2?
Will Levis.
Get the
Will
A week ago, he says Will Levis is nobody, and that week later, he says he's going to come out.
Will the Thrill Levis. I'm serious. Will Levis.
His ex-girlfriend's a little salty, but I do think that
I'm not going to bang on the table. I'm not going to say, but if Will Levis is available in the later rounds, he's worth a pickup.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They
Oh,
have decent weapons.
D-Hop?
Yeah, and I
Who's
mean
still
he's
doing
going. Yeah, and he's going to put up. He's going to put up solid numbers, not great numbers. It's not going to. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to be. If you have a bye week, he's going to be a fill guy. That will fill really well.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose anything from him.
No.
Unless
Plus they
you're
got
sitting
Calvin
with
Ridley.
unless you're sitting with like a Lamar or
Yeah.
some elite quarterback, you're not going to lose a lot from Will
Yeah.
Levis. I don't think it's not a horrible play with Will Levis.
No, okay. I can see. I mean, his first game last year came out and threw 4 touchdowns, 2 to D-Hop, and I'm like, great. We all wrote him off, and he didn't write back or whatever Gino said, and
They wrote back.
they wrote back quickly,
Yeah, he got
really
one there.
quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of letters actually
Yeah.
with that one. Okay, so Will Levis, number 3. So this
Ooh,
one,
I got one. It's good.
I'm gonna go Deshaun Watson / Jameis Winston because between I don't know who's gonna he's eating wings. Dude, I love Jameis Winston so much.
Him and Jay Cutler, I wish they would play together
That
because
would've
those
been
two would have been.
so fun.
Yeah.
But okay, so I put these two because I don't know what's going to go on with Deshaun Watson. But quarterbacks aside for a second, the Cleveland Browns, whether it's Joe Flacco too or whoever they bring in, because the Cleveland Browns, you saw it. Kevin Stefanski is now calling the plays for the Browns again this year, and he's a very good play caller. He gets them heavily involved in the running game, so it makes life a lot easier on their quarterbacks.
With Chubb.
And
Ford has
and Ford
emerged,
and
yeah.
everybody. But they just pump out good running backs there. And then I think that the weapons that they have there now, I think it's all good enough that the quarterback isn't going to have to do a lot, but it's also that it's a good enough quarterback friendly situation that Deshaun Watson could have a bounce back year, maybe even be comeback player of the year if things go his way, or Jameis Winston comes out and throws 38 touchdowns but 36 interceptions,
He got LASIK. He's good now.
He's not. He still throws a lot of interceptions. But I love that about Jameis is that he is willing to just huck it and just say, Mike Williams is down there somewhere. I love it. I don't care.
I would say, because this is our third last one, right?
Yep,
This is it.
yep.
So I would like to put on, I think Drake May is probably one of those sleepers, but you're not going to see him till week 8. So I wouldn't pick him.
Okay,
It would be
okay.
a free agent
That's
ad
fair.
later. My last sleeper, Sammy D.
Get out of here. No, you don't get to do this because every time you bash on them,
Mr. Darnold
No.
will be the Vikings starting
do
quarterback.
not give them any hype. They don't deserve it.
No, they don't. But here's the deal: is with Addison and Jefferson, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. You have two of the best receivers in the league that are going to be able to stretch the field and still cover the middle. Plus, you have Hawkinson, short distance. Sammy D, he's worth an ad.
I think later on in the draft, if you're like round 7 and you've got your players and you're looking to just like cash it in, you're good. I'm still a little bit holding out a little bit of hope that the Vikings don't suck as much, but I mean they're going to throw the ball a lot.
How much emphasis do you put on the quarterback position in fantasy football?
Not as much as a lot of people because I feel like you can get a middle tier quarterback, and if you can get the running
That's
backs
Sammy
to
Darnold.
yeah, so yeah, I don't necessarily disagree, but at the same, I'm a
If I
very
can get
cautious
Lamar,
Vikings fan.
if I could get Lamar, then yeah, I'll put it.
Yeah.
I'll reach.
Okay.
If I could have got Brady, I'll reach. But if I'm stuck with a Purdy or a Darnold or Lawrence, I'm like,
Meh.
it's a crapshoot.
It's a crapshoot, but then you can make up for it with running backs
Yep.
and in your flex. So
Yep.
it's like you can usually make up for it. So honestly, I think that's just fine.
Edit this out. Brody's turn.
Hold on, he's got his teeth.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Okay, what
I
did he
like
say?
that.
His son, what did he say?
No. All right, so now we go to receivers.
Who did he say? Did
This
he
is a
say-
big one.
Did he say a name?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So my kid's throwing me names.
He's
right
helping
now.
you
over
out.
there, yeah.
He's like, Dad's losing. He's
I
got
don't know
needs
about
help.
that. I'm not losing. Who has a better sleepers right now?
Of course he's gonna pick you. You're his dad. You're the one that puts food on the table. For quarterbacks, I said Anthony Richardson,
Solid.
Kyler Murray, and Deshaun Watson / Jameis Winston. Of course he's gonna pick, dude. You're his dad. Of course he's gonna.
I got Will Levis, Sammy D, and these are actual sleepers. You picked Richardson, who's supposed to be solid.
What?
Kyler Murray.
You literally
who
just
was
said
supposed to be
you went off
solid.
for 10 seconds before I reminded you that the man was a rookie and that he was. And you're like, oh yeah, he was injured.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into wide receivers.
Okay. All right.
Who's your sleeper for wide receiver?
Number 1,
Oh, let's hear it.
Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
So Darnell Mooney is a guy that people forget about because he played for the Bears with
Go
Justin
Bears.
Fields, who had no protection and no help. And he was like one of the only good receivers that Justin Fields could throw to at the time, before he got DJ Moore and all that.
He was all right.
He was good. He had 1,000 yards with a horrible offensive line, no running game, and Justin Fields as his quarterback.
Yeah.
And now he's got Kirk Cousins. He's got Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts might as well be Michael Pitts because the man doesn't just anyway. Kyle Pitts at tight end is going to take a lot. Drake London, that's going to take a lot of pressure off of him, and he's got a very solid running game that, quite honestly, is going to take a lot of the attention off of him. So I think that Darnell Mooney could come in and be that 60 to 80 catch type guy that nobody really talks about because Those are their two superstars, not to mention the fact that you've got arguably one of the better running backs / running back rooms in the league with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've already got those big three, you got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, also Rondell Miller is nobody to sneeze at as well. So I think that when you combine that with what the Falcons already have and also Kirk Cousins, I think that he is due for a very, very big year. And I think that people are going to realize he is a huge sleeper. What about you?
I'd like to say Hollywood Brown at this point, but I don't know if he's exactly what we'd call a sleeper.
He's a good receiver, though.
He's a good receiver.
He deserves a lot more
and he's
credit.
playing with Kansas City. So I think he's on. I think he's on the radar.
Oh,
So I'd like to say him as my sleeper. If he doesn't count as a sleeper, I want to say Josh Reynolds for the Broncos.
oh, Josh Reynolds. Oh yeah, okay. I can get
I think
behind
he's going to
that.
be solid. I
can
think
get
he's going to have a pretty good year. The Broncos
Wait,
need a.
Who do they have at quarterback again? Bo Nix.
Yep.
He's gonna-
I like Bo Nix.
He's
I
going to
do.
throw 8 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
And
What
they
are you
will, and they'll all go to Josh Reynolds.
he's going to score 6 of the 8
Yep,
touchdowns.
that's fine with me. Put
Okay.
that man in the end zone.
Josh Reynolds actually isn't bad.
So,
he was just behind so many good receivers with Detroit before
Yeah.
that it was just like you're not going to get the time of day, you know. So I actually can agree with
So
that.
I like Hollywood Brown, and if he doesn't count, I'll go Josh Reynolds.
Okay.
So I think Hollywood will probably get taken in the mid rounds anyway. We're trying to get to the back rounds.
Yeah.
So Josh Reynolds would be my guy.
So the Chiefs have Rashee Rice, maybe if
Yeah, I don't think they're
depending.
gonna have
Yeah,
Rice.
I said maybe. Then they've got Kadarius, Tony McCullough, Hardman, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown. Okay, they're not bad.
No.
I mean they don't need. They've had worse and they've won with worse. So okay, that's gonna be tough. My second,
Worthy is the one that I'm really.
I think he's gonna.
I think he's going to get picked soon, so I can't really be a sleeper. But I
No.
think Worthy is going to be a huge ad for Kansas City.
I do too.
And I think the Buffalo Bills are going to punch themselves in the face for for doing what
How
they
do you
did.
not? I don't get it. I really don't get it. All right. The next one is Lad McConkey.
Damn it! That was mine.
Okay. Sorry.
The Chargers.
Sorry. Hey, you took Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I like that. I like Lad.
Okay. So the thing with the Chargers is they are hoping and praying that Johnson from last year, the wide receiver, can somehow pull his head out so loud that you can hear a pop because the guy, yeah, essentially, yes. He literally had so many drops for touchdowns last year. It was agonizing. I could have caught, okay, maybe not, but there was a lot of other people that could have caught the ball better than he did. And the question is, who's going to be that number one for Justin Herbert with Harbaugh now the head coach? I think Lad McConkey's going to come in. Josh Palmer's been a good receiver for a minute, and then also you question Quentin Johnston. Is he going to come out and do his thing?
Yeah.
So I think that at the end of the day, Lad McConkey is a guy that you saw what he did in college. He does a tremendous job of getting open and making plays. I think he's that guy. Sorry, didn't mean to take your guy.
It's all right. I got another guy.
Okay.
Late round, Demario Douglas.
Demario.
Demario Pop Douglas. He is
Okay.
going to be the number one receiver on the Patriots. Patriots are going to. Jacoby Brissett's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's not.
He's not a great quarterback, but he's not a bad one.
Not bad.
And he's familiar with the offense. They're going to run a lot of dumps. Obviously, the line is kind of beat up. The offensive line's a huge question mark with New England.
Yeah.
But defensively, they're going to keep doing defensively what the Patriots always do.
Yeah, they're gonna shut people down.
They're going to shut people down. They haven't really lost anything, and they're going to probably gain Gilmore before the start of training camp.
Yeah.
Before the end of training camp, I wouldn't be surprised if Gilmore wasn't over there.
Okay.
And so what they need to do is move the ball. Brissett, that's where Brissett's good at. That's where Douglas is going to be really well. Go over the middle. He's going to be that Tyreek Hill kind of guy. He's quick and he's small. He's
That
but
5'8", 190 guy that could just run.
Oh yeah, he's
Like, you just-
fast. He's
I'm excited for him. I think that, and plus,
and Polk and stuff. You got people that are going to stretch the field on the sides, and so the safeties are going to have to sit back, and then you're looking at your middle guys to try to cover that, and he's just too fast.
yeah, I agree.
And so
I absolutely agree.
when you get May in there, May's gonna
He's
gonna pick him apart.
He is. He is.
I just hope they don't rush him.
Number 3,
Don't do it.
Deontay Johnson.
Nope.
Okay, good. Okay, so
Deontay Johnson's a turd.
he is a turd. He is
sucks.
a turd, but I do think that with where he's at finally, I think that now is the time that you can draft Deontay Johnson. Like, don't get me wrong, Deontay Johnson was a really good player for a really long time, but I think this is the time where we can confidently say that he is going to be arguably that guy at that number one guy that you can throw the ball to and he can make plays. Because if you remember, I mean, whether he was with Pickens with the Steelers, now he's in Carolina. Who is Carolina's number one? Adam Thielen? He's this close to getting cut. He is this close to getting cut.
No, yeah.
And so it's like there is something where you spend $25 million on a wide receiver that's 34 coming off of, his least productive year with the Vikings. I'm just being real. I love Adam Thielen. He is an absolute all-time fan favorite. But at the end of the day, who are you going to most likely throw it more to? Deontay Johnson, who is just entering the prime of his career at 28, or a 34-year-old wide receiver that, let's be real, he is definitely he's good, but he's not what you need in order to be a number one wide receiver. So, sorry, who is your number 3 wide receiver?
I'm gonna go with, and it depends. Like I have two. Ricky Purcell.
Oh.
Is going to be a very sought after one if Ayuk moves. If Ayuk doesn't move, I would still go out and get him in those late rounds because Ayuk, I think Ayuk is eventually going to move.
I just don't know where.
Yeah, you just don't know where or when. They want a lot for him. I think right now that's all the buzz. That's
what I
hear.
It's not the Patriots.
So why?
Because I think that it would be harmful to the nucleus that they're building. Just hear me out.
What?
Okay. So I understand that he's a very good receiver. I am not taking anything away from him. But you got Jalen Polk. You got Javon Baker. You got Douglas last year who balled out.
They
Plus,
have a good receiver room.
let your receiver room develop. And I understand that he would come and be that number one. Maybe he'd help him develop a little bit.
I think
but
they have the number one.
I think so too. I think Douglas could be that guy. I think all those
Bourne.
guys. Kendrick Bourne is a good receiver. You should have never let Jacoby Myers go. I'm so sorry.
That one hurts.
Yeah, but I will say that
They need to get rid of Juju. Juju.
Oh God, yeah, please punt.
If you can, then that's what I want to do.
He's
if
still
you
in the NFL.
Yeah, if you can get Juju Smith a second round for Ayuk, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Ooh, Juju in a second, maybe. Yeah, I think that it really depends.
I think that's the cap though. That's where you're. That I wouldn't try to get rid of Judon. I wouldn't try to do anything for Ayuk. I would say if you can get rid of Juju and just give up a second round, or I would be okay with even a first because you're probably going to finish. I mean, in that division, you're going to be. You might squeak into a wild card.
Yeah.
The division's kind of a toss-up.
It just really depends on. Yeah, there's a lot that's going to go on, but no. Ed,
if Aaron Rodgers is going to play longer than 15 seconds.
Oh my God, yeah, no kidding.
So, but if that doesn't all play out, if Ayuk doesn't move, I would probably go with Bud Means.
Okay, yeah.
I like him. He's good in New Orleans. He's in a good spot. Derek Carr is an excellent quarterback, and I think he'll see success. And that's one of those guys you can pick up in the late rounds and maybe add later.
Yeah, I think and he's shown flashes in the past too. So, all right, what are we at? Running backs or tight ends?
Running backs.
Running backs. You're gonna think I'm on what is it? Crack. I'm going to go with Zamir White, the running back from the Las Vegas Raiders. Last 4 games of the season last year, when Josh Jacobs went down with an injury, he ran for 400 yards, had a couple of touchdowns. And that was the most success that the Raiders running game had was in the last month of the season when Zamir White was running the football. He's a bigger guy. He's tougher to bring down, and he's built to run between the tackles. And so I think that's exactly what Antonio Pierce and company are trying to do. Run the football, play good defense, and honestly, and just keep the ball out of their quarterback's hands. That's going to be the goal. So I think that Zamir White's going to be an early back that, maybe you get in the later rounds, but I think he has the potential to do some really good things for you.
I like that. I think you're going to get this guy. You could probably get him off waivers. He's not going to be one of those guys that may be picked. I would use him if I got my last round. I'd throw a pick at him. I'd go with Jalen Wright.
Yeah.
Mosier and Achane has both had durability issues.
Yeah.
And they're in that offense. They're gonna score points.
They're going to score points. And do you see he got extended today?
Who?
Tua.
Oh yeah.
Horrible.
He got paid. Not well. He's like the eighth most.
Yeah,
I think
50,
that's
yeah.
fair.
It's fair, but it's like I guess this is just what the
And 156 guaranteed or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
153 guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I mean, the durability contract is in there. You know, he might not make it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a very fair contract. And who are you going to go out and get? Because that's one thing that teams are really struggling. It's not like people can go out and get a quarterback like they.
No,
like
it's the
they
most
could.
important position of football. It's the hardest thing to find.
Yeah.
like largely. So no, I think that it makes some sense. But yeah, Jalen Wright I think would be really good. Mostert, I mean, he's just that guy. He's 38 billion years old, and he's still bringing in 10 touchdown seasons like it's nobody's business. He's that guy. So I can definitely agree with that because of how much those two are injured. This next one, so James Cook is going to be the best running back in the NFL when it's all said and done next
Lies.
year.
Nope.
How do you not believe that?
Because nope, it's not going to happen.
Okay. We're talking about a guy that quietly ran for over 1,100 yards last year, had 44 catches for 450 yards and 6 touchdowns
Cool.
as a receiving back of the backfield with Josh Allen. That offense, I will admit, is not the offense it was last year because Stephon Diggs left. We understand all of that. And if we're being perfectly honest, I do have my questions about the passing game because of the lack of weaponry. However, I think that James Cook, with his versatility and the fact that he quietly had 1,000 yards last year, and the fact that I would argue that this offensive line is better for.
That's not good for him. Hear me out on this.
Okay.
A good offensive line, those dump passes, the get me out of trouble passes that gave him all those yards, they're gone. He's going to have time to look at the field. He's going to have time to analyze everything. And without Stephon Diggs trying to stretch the field as much as he has, there's going to be a lot of middle crossing and there's going to be a lot of outs and ins. He will not have those. He will not get those dump routes unless they specifically scheme for it and they specifically start scheming for it. That's when you're going to see your ends and your outside linebackers actually probably loop instead of go through, and it's actually going to blow those plays up.
Okay.
So I don't think that he's going to have a good year because of the improvements they had on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
I think he was a safety. He was a safety net, and now with the improvements they have, they don't need that safety net anymore.
Okay. All right. Who's your next running back? Dude, you've been bragging about him all off season. How do you not?
He's not. Is it at 3 yet?
This is 2.
Yeah, I'm going to leave him for 3.
Brody, could you grab me my phone? I think it's on my desk.
It's not going to be Gibson.
Because my
It's not going to be Gibson. I like Gibson, but it's not going to be Gibson.
Oh, is it behind? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. My phone's about to die, so. So yeah, we are in the middle of this professional podcast, and we don't even know who your third running back is.
I know who my third running back is.
Oh, sorry, your second running back.
I do, but I forgot the name.
How do you forget the name? You got to write stuff down, dude. Got to be more organized.
I know, dude. It's been a crazy and I hate saying it. Today has been stupid.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Dude, at 10 o'clock, you're like, I want the weekend. I'm like, dude, we got
I was
another
over it.
6 hours. What do you mean?
I was completely over it. I was like, I'm done. I just want to be done. Is that it? Yeah.
Brody, could you take my
Running
computer
back,
and
correct?
plug it in, please? Could you take my computer and plug it in, please, on my desk? Because yeah, it's about to die, and I'm
Running
uploading.
back, correct?
Running back. Yep. Number
Okay.
2.
Trey Benson,
Trey Benson. Who's he
Atlanta
play for?
Falcons.
Okay.
The only one in front of him is Connor.
Trey Benson for the Falcons. No, he's got also
sorry.
Bijan.
Sorry. The Cardinals. Trey Benson for the
I
Cardinals.
was like, wait a minute.
Okay, let's
No.
start over.
'Kay.
So my second running back would be Trey Benson for the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
I think he's going to outplay Connor. He's a solid.
Connor's getting up there too.
Yeah, and I think he's a solid choice. And like I just got done telling you, they are with they're going to be able to double and keep that safety over the top. They're going to have to with Harrison, and that's going to allow them to dump those short routes out to him. So that would be my second.
Okay. Third and final running back. I've got. Well, actually, I had to pick that couple. Let's see here. Oh, did I say Deonta Foreman?
No.
So right now I think he's third or fourth on the Cleveland Browns running back list right now. I understand that Nick Chubb is coming back from injury, but correct me if I'm wrong. Was it or was it not a knee injury? It was an ACL, if I remember correctly.
It's Nick Chubb, dude.
He'll be fine because he's Nick Chubb, but I don't think he's going to be back right away. And so I think for the early part of the season, I think Deonta Foreman, specifically with what he's done with teams like the Panthers, and I think even the Browns a couple of years ago, he is a guy that he's not a starting running back. He's not. I'll admit that. But while your starting running back gets healthy, he's a guy that can get you that.
He's a handcuff kid.
Yeah, that 12 to 20 fantasy points. And so I think that he is that guy that's going to come in and give you a lot of value. Sorry, go ahead. Now who's your third?
My third is going to be Rookie of the Year, rush for 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, and probably have, I would say, 650 yards receiving.
There's no way.
Isaiah Davis.
There's no way this man.
Isaiah Davis.
I forgot who he's on. Is it the Browns? The Jets. He's got Brees Hall ahead of him.
Isaiah Davis.
Brees Hall.
Isaiah Davis. And it doesn't matter if your name's Brees Hall. It's who does Aaron Rodgers
Let's completely forget
like?
about a guy that almost had 1,000 yards rushing last year. Yeah.
Almost. Who does Aaron Rodgers like? Aaron Rodgers runs that team. Let's be real.
I mean, when he plays more than 4 snaps, but yes.
Even when he wasn't playing 4 snaps. You don't bring it. Isaiah Davis was a late round guy. I think Isaiah Davis is going to get, probably by week 3, he's going to start to get steam. And there's a health issue. There's health issues in the Jets running back room. There always has been.
Yeah, Brees can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Even though he's almost ran for 1,000 yards last year, but yeah.
Yeah, but if he was healthy, then he would have
Oh,
1,000
he would
yards.
have
You know,
1,000,
like
no problem.
he's a very good running back. But
Did you see the headline from Brees Hall the other day?
what?
His statement coming out and saying he guaranteed 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, for Isaiah Davis.
No, for himself. He said, I thought I knew his middle name, but anyway, Brees James Hall will rush for 1,000 yards guaranteed. Take it to the bank. I mean, you're coming off a year or 2 years ago where you tore your ACL.
He hasn't really been the same.
He's not
He
like
doesn't. You can tell he doesn't trust it. The cuts, everything. He doesn't trust, and I don't know if he ever will.
yeah.
That's a tough thing to come back from.
It is.
I'm just telling you, Isaiah Davis. He's the guy.
Okay. Tight ends now, right?
Yep. Here you're gonna like this one.
My number 1, Brock Bowers. So
That makes sense.
I know another people are saying, well, you know, he's
He's gonna be drafted early.
He's going to be drafted early, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. Usually tight ends that come into the NFL do not come out of the gate swinging. They just don't. Like even Kyle Pitts, one of the most recent tight ends is a first-round tight end that had a really good first year, or, you know, quote-unquote really good first year. Over 60 catches, over 1,000 yards, 1 touchdown.
Was that me?
Yeah, that's you.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's Camille Harris. Eh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Okay, all right.
Yuck.
We know what you're. Okay,
She
all right.
sucks.
So I think that because of the style of quarterbacks that they have there in Las Vegas, they're going to need a tight end to throw the ball to.
I love how like all your sleepers are the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, well, he's the only Raiders player that I have on there.
No, you had another one.
Oh,
You-
Zamir White. Okay, yeah, okay. One other one out of. And you've been giving me a lot of
Aiden
props.
O'Connell would be a good sleeper actually at quarterback.
I was going to put Aiden O'Connell. My only problem with it is that Gardner Minshew. There's
think he's-
only a matter of time before that man gets his chance, and I'm like a little hesitant that his mustache of awesomeness will just and his goatee of awesomeness will just.
He's not bad.
He's
he
really
he
not.
has solid numbers.
Yeah, he's a souped up version of what was it, Nick Mullins for the Vikings. Like he just doesn't care. He's like he's gonna go in there and throw the ball. It's like then you'll see the
It's like
coach.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, you'll see the coach just going off on him, like, what are you thinking? And then next, he'll make the same mistake, but then he'll throw a 60-yard touchdown. And you're like, I don't know what's going on with this. Like, okay. But no, I think that Brock Bowers, he's going to have all these other, like, the attention off of him that I think by the second half of the season, he's going to be arguably a top 5 tight
Are
end.
they going to be able to use him? To be able to use a tight end is so hard in that league.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very few teams that have been able to, and Cleveland is one of them.
Yep.
But there's very few teams that are able to actually use a tight end to its full potential.
Great question. I think yes, because look at who their offensive coordinator is now, Luke Getsy. Now, who's Luke Getsy? He's the guy that, I don't know, he made Cole Kmet blow. Who the hell is Cole Kmet? He's the guy that had 90 catches last
Everybody
year.
knows
for
who
this.
Cole Kmet is.
My point is that before Luke Getsy got in there, nobody knew who Cole Kmet was. after he got in there.
Cole Kmet was kind of a big deal in college, but
Yeah, in college, but in the NFL, that's what I'm saying. Like he was kind of, like his production wasn't
Yeah.
there when he first got into the league.
not a lot of tight ends are.
No, and that's what I'm saying is like that's why when I say he's a sleeper, even though he was drafted high, it's because when they first come into the league, like they're still figuring out the game. Nobody really knows how to use him yet. Well, I think with him, the fact that they can line Brad Bowers up in so many different variations of
Mayer?
stuff. Mayer, I think he's more of going to be the blocking tight end, and I think that you're going to have what?
Mayer's not a blocking tight end.
He's a better blocking tight end than Bowers.
He's a good blocking tight end, but he's also a very good receiving tight end.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
Like, are you thinking like a double tight?
that's what the Raiders are doing. They're doing double tight. They're having him as an H-back formation. They're lining him. They're doing reverses with Brock Bowers.
He's quick.
He's quick, and so it's like
They're trying to give him the ball to create plays.
Yes, and so
something Atlanta didn't do with Pitts
no, they should have, and they should
because now he's old.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, he's getting old. So it's like we need to find creative ways to get him the ball and let him do his thing because he's actually a very gifted player and athlete. So I think that if you can get Brock Bowers and just target him early, please make me right. Go make him a sleeper. Who's your number one sleeping tight end?
He's not a tight end yet. Mr. Joe Milton for the New England Patriots.
But it's bold and I like it. It's bold and I really, really like it.
Because you can carry him as a quarterback. You can carry, and he is going to take Bailey Zappi out of New England, which I have always wanted.
Yeah.
I don't like Bailey Zappi. I think Bailey Zappi.
You've hated Zappi.
I don't like Zappi at all.
He would come into podcasts just saying fucking Zap under his breath, like days. I'm like, dude.
I was never at Zappi hour.
No.
I can tell you that. Like
No.
when you when you actively hurt one of your teammates and talk crap about one of your teammates throughout the year.
Did he hurt one of them?
So basically what he said was in training camp, he goes, this job is going to be mine. This is mine.
I like the
and
arrogance, but at the same time,
you're not good enough to be arrogant.
Yeah.
If you're Tom Brady, be arrogant. If you're Rodgers, do whatever you want. I don't care. You've earned it.
Yeah.
You're a rookie from Western Kentucky that played absolutely nobody and broke a couple records,
Yeah.
which I absolutely destroyed in NCAA football my first year at Northwestern. You know,
Benny Mac, baby.
Benny
That's all
Mac.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
so
Merch
75
available on the description
75
below.
touchdowns, like 8,000 yards.
Oh, Jordan Love just got extended.
Jordan Love, good. He should.
Honestly, I'd agree because
Jordan Love is
that
a-
offense is horrible without him.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I think
He definitely deserved that.
Green Bay
220
needs to
million.
win another Super Bowl. They've had 3 really good quarterbacks,
And they have
for a
3
long
Super
time.
Bowls.
They have
Like
2.
They have 2. Bart Starr didn't win one. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers,
And
and
that's-
now. Yeah, over the last 20, 30, they've only had 2. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks too.
yeah.
So,
And I think Jordan Love is pretty good. I think
so I'm
he's-
gonna go with Joe Milton. He can throw the ball out of the arena and still catch the ball, quick as hell. So
He's gonna get laid
He's
out
an
there.
athlete. He's an athlete.
yeah, I honestly
And
think
I
that,
think that's why you're going to carry him as probably your reserve quarterback, and then slowly build him into that offense.
Yeah.
Because he's better than Gesicki will be.
I think he's a souped up version of Terrell Pryor, the guy that came out of the
He's a
NFL,
bigger version.
of Terrell Pryor. Yeah, exactly. So I like it. This guy is gonna get.
Going to get got.
I think that because of what's happening right now with T.J. Hawkinson, he's out. He's going to be out for a little bit because of the ACL. But Robert Tonyan, I think
Tonyan.
that with what the Vikings have right now at tight end, with T.J. Hawkinson out, Robert Tonyan is going to get a lot of targets, or he needs to get a lot of targets because we remember or some of us forget Robert Tonyan was a guy that had 12 touchdowns a couple of years ago with the Green Bay Packers. We forget that Robert Tonyan, coming out of what was it, Illinois State, Indiana State, that was actually a very good pass catching tight end, and now the number 1 tight end and receiving threat for the Vikings is out with a knee injury, and you brought in Robert Tonyan to compete for that spot. He's already showing out. He's already, like, I know it's only, day 2 of training camp, but I think that Robert Tonyan, for the first part of your season, if you need a tight end that could come in and get you 5 to 8 catches a game, I'm putting it on the table right now. Robert Tonyan is your man.
All right. I like it.
Okay?
I like it.
Next tight end?
I'm going to say Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry. Is he still with the Patriots?
He's still with the Patriots. I
You're
know
giving
this
me
is
shit for all the
Yeah, I
Raiders.
understand that, but Hunter Henry is they were a horrible offense.
Yep.
They're going to be a better offense. So those offensive numbers are going to increase. Hunter Henry is a safety net. He's already being used as a safety net with
kinda
Jacoby
old, isn't
Brissett. Yeah, but the thing is it's the red zone opportunities. You're not going to get a tight end you want the tight end that's going to catch the ball in the red zone, the 8-yard outs and stuff like that. Hunter Henry's that guy. Hunter Henry is going to be a safety net for Jacoby Brissett and Drake May while these.
If and
while
when
these-
he gets on the field.
Yeah, when he gets on
When,
the field.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. If you can get him in the later rounds, I wouldn't reach for him, but Hunter Henry in the the 10th, 12th
not
round,
bad.
I would definitely
He
snag him.
he could probably get you 10 to 15.
I would say 8 to 12.
What's that? Okay.
No,
Okay. All right.
solid.
Okay. All right. I'm not hating. I'm just saying that, like, I think that there's. I was just giving you shit about being the other, like, there are two Patriots in a row. My number 3, Trey McBride.
Oh, I didn't think that was likely.
What do you mean?
I didn't think that was likely for you to pick him
Why?
because I'm going to pick likely for my number 3.
Actually, that's a really good pick. But so Trey McBride, coming out of college, people gave him a lot of crap for. I think he only caught like 1 or 2 touchdowns coming up out of Colorado as a college player. This last year, with an injured Kyler Murray, put up 81 catches for over 800 yards and had himself a couple of touchdowns. I understand that he is a guy that, just looking at his production, only 3 touchdowns as a tight end. He is such a playmaker for you that the fact that you have all these other guys that we talked about earlier, with Marvis Harrison Jr., and now you got McBride there too. You've got a pretty good running game. You've got Kyler Murray, who does like his tight ends. So
Yes, he does. It's about eye level too.
Dang it. I know how to say it. I do. He likes the. I was gonna say he likes the tight end position. That's just worse. That's just worse. I think that he likes to throw to his tight ends. There we go.
yeah.
So I think that Trey McBride is in line for a 100-catch, 1,000-yard season because of the talent that he has around him, taking away the attention, and then he can just eat in the middle of the field and do his thing.
I like it. Number 3, like I said, I'm going to go with Isaiah Likely, Baltimore Ravens.
Stud.
I think he's going to be.
Mark Andrews, though, I will
Mark
say.
Andrews is very good, but they're going to need to introduce Likely to this offense. Losing Odell is going to be huge, and Bateman has been a disappointment so far.
He has. Yes,
So
he has.
Lamar's going to need something.
Yes.
So Likely is going to be probably a top 3.
Zay Jones is gonna be good too. I think Zay.
I
Jones,
hope so. I like Zay Jones.
I do too.
I really wish the Patriots would have got Zay Jones.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And what? Oh yeah, Zay Flowers and Zay Jones.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
you said Jones. Zay Jones played for Buffalo. Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. I meant sorry.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers. My
Yeah,
bad.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah. Sorry.
You should listen to us for fantasy football advice. We don't even know who plays for who.
Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah. Zay Flowers. will
Zay
be-
Flowers is going to be, I think he's going to be excellent, but I do think Isaiah Likely is going to have to step up. Mark Andrews isn't as healthy as he has been. I wouldn't be surprised if they,
And he's getting up there.
yeah, and you got to keep him healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
And
Baltimore's due.
likely is more of an athlete. Like if you watch him, he's more of an actual mismatch that you're like, oh, geez. Like Mark Andrews is a good player. Don't get me wrong. But Likely is a guy that I would put him up against safeties and corners. I don't know about that for Mark Andrews.
And I'm just saying, rookie, Bowers isn't going to be the best rookie tight end. Eric All.
Iowa guy. I mean, those Iowa guys know how to get it done. Every time I picked him up as in a mock draft, though, it gave me an F. Like I'd get all in the 6th round, and he's graded at like a 4th round pick. I'd get him in the 6th round. Gave me an F every single time. I don't get it. I don't know why they just don't like
Eric
All.
Hall will be your best tight
He'll
end.
be a really good
yeah,
tight end.
best rookie tight end, I believe.
I think, yeah, I think, and it probably is going to happen because I mean Brock Bowers is going to have a lot of attention on himself, but overall, but yeah. And now what else we got?
We've covered quarterbacks. We've covered
Receivers.
receivers. We covered halfbacks. We've covered
Best value pick.
best value pick. I like it.
Best value pick. And I can go ahead and lead us off, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you lead us off.
So, as in terms of value, I'm a guy that when I think about value, I think about like the later rounds, like 5, 6, 7. Who's gonna find a way to start for me and still get me points. In terms of value, I'm kind of torn because I wanted to say back in the day, Cordero Patterson was going to be a good pick, and
He's good.
he's really good. Now he's a little bit older, and I just don't know what he's necessarily going to do. But a value pick that I think that, and I think this one's a little bit of a sleeper too for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with Jalen Naylor because there has been multiple instances where he just has been injured. He has been sick, blah, 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 blah. When he's healthy and on the field, there are times where he reminds you of a couple of superstar wide receivers for the Minnesota Vikings that I will not bring up their names on the podcast because people think, oh, you're comparing him to. No, I'm not. I'm saying that he reminds you of them. So I think that Jalen Naylor, with the Vikings searching for that number 3 wide receiver, and with where you can get him, I mean, I think you're going to be able to pick up Jalen Naylor at any point during the season, just because of even if Justin, what happens with the Vikings in terms of health. I think that at any point you can get Jalen Naylor, and he's going to give you excellent value, especially when he starts to get the ball thrown more of his way. Do you have a value pick, my man?
I do. So when I think value, I am thinking who's that player that you can get late or even just pick up later on that's going to push you over the hump during the playoffs, get you to that Super Bowl. Obviously, you're going to have your guys where, CMC, he's going to take you. You're going to have those guys that are going to be able to, you're going to have to jump on their back and ride them.
Yep.
But for me, last year was Ford, and that's eventually I ended up winning my thing.
Your league.
My league.
Your league. You looking for a guy?
I'm looking for the name. I know who it is.
Honestly, this one was spur of the moment. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of pulled Jalen Naylor out of somewhere just because I'm actually really excited about Jalen Naylor, but there's actually a lot of value going around. Who was that? McCaffrey. Yeah. CMC.
I picked him number 1 overall, and everybody laughed at me. And then he got like 4 years.
Yeah. And then you're like, haha. And he was like the first year actually didn't, like, he stayed healthy and was totally worth it. So, yeah, he's a stud. Did you win it?
I lost by 2 points.
That sucks.
To Molly.
Yeah. Well, she had all the Eagles players, and I had Hurts and.
Can I say also, I feel sorry for Molly because she's in a house surrounded by dudes, and she's just got to deal with you guys every day.
That hurts.
She also had,
It's a lie. You guys know I'm kidding.
and then she also had CeeDee Lamb, who is.
That's CeeDee Lamb. He's a stud.
We need to do ours better because my dad didn't even try.
No.
He
Why?
got last.
You got last, because he didn't care. He's trying to win money on the other leagues.
Yep.
And then my grandma did try the hardest that she could, and she got second to last.
Bridget?
Yeah.
Dang. You lost to your mom?
Yeah. I wasn't trying.
I get it. I have those leagues where I didn't put any money in. Like those, it's strange. The leagues that you put money into, you pay a little bit more attention to.
Hey, okay.
Hey, what? I think there's a cricket noise over there if you want to. Hooper.
Austin Hooper. I like Hooper.
I like Hooper too. I just think that the tight end position is
The tight end position, you just have to fill it
yeah.
and get your 8 to 10 points. And if your tight end goes off, usually you're winning by
30,
40.
yeah.
30 or 40 anyway. You're just having a good day. Actually, you know what I'm going to do?
What? Hey, you shouldn't have done that, dude. No, I can't get that stupid song out of my head. Value. Sounds like Valium.
This year, I'm going to try to get Hollywood.
That's what I'm going to do.
What?
All right. So my best value pick is Zach Moss. Hear me out on this. With
Well, that's actually a
Cincinnati,
good pick.
he's going to go late. You're going to be able to pick him up late. He's going to have probably, I would say I'm going to give him over 1,000 yards.
Joe Mixon's getting old.
Yep. And Zach Moss has shown that he can be the guy.
I mean, he took over for Jonathan Taylor last year, didn't
Yep,
he?
and he rushed very well.
That's
I think it's a good fit for Cincinnati. I think it's going to be great for Joe Burrow. So if I would have to pick a value pick, that's someone you can get late, that might be a game changer, that's going to take you over that hump and get you through the playoffs, I'm going to go Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, I think will get an opportunity just because of how old Joe Mixon is.
Joe Mixon's
he's
not,
still good,
but he's not reliable. I mean, I don't want to say he's not going to be the guy. He's going to have to give up carries, and that's going to be to Zach Moss.
He's not the player he was 3 or 4 years ago, but he can still be a good player. So yeah, I think that's a good pick for Zach Moss. Who do you pick first round? If you have the first pick, what do you go with?
Oh, I trade that thing. I don't want that first pick.
That's always tough.
So what we normally do is we can trade picks. I'm in a couple keeper leagues, but if I'm just starting a brand new league and I get first pick, this is going to be. It's not going to sound. I don't know because I don't go CMC.
Wow.
I don't. I can't.
Okay.
There's too much injury stuff. Are we talking 1 year? Or are we talking keeper?
1
league?
year. 1 year.
1 year, then maybe I do Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. What do you do keeper league?
Keeper league,
You trade?
I trade it.
Okay. I think if I'm going number 1, I honestly go. I used to do Patrick Mahomes right off the top, but it's not like he throws for 50 touch. Like his second year in the NFL, that was his best statistical season.
Yep.
Like it was what it was. Like it's just, and he's not like a huge fantasy savant. He's really not. Like if you looked at him, I looked at his stats the other day. He threw under 30 touchdown passes last year.
Well, actually, like I'm looking at the rankings right now. The first quarterback off the board right now is at 23 average, and it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, it's Josh Allen or it's Lamar Jackson because they were going to get you.
Josh Allen, and then 2 picks later, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Like Lamar Jackson goes high too because of the fact that he runs. So
Mixon's
much.
playing for Houston.
Is he?
Yeah.
You said the Bengals.
Yeah. No, Moss is playing for the Bengals. Mixon is playing for Houston. Moss has got free reign. Moss has got free reign.
Yeah, he's going to run for 1,000
Cincinnati.
yards. Yeah, there's no question.
He's going to be running for his life with that offensive line.
Yeah.
But he will be running
So
for
will Joe
1,000
Burrow.
yards. Yeah.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I mean, your top 5 right now is Christian McCaffrey, CD Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Brees Hall, who I'm sorry, Brees, but Isaiah Davis is going to take that job.
I hope he does. I hope he does. South Dakota
And then
representative.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
And then
There's no Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson's fallen at 8.
Dude, the guy was out for half the season last year.
Here. Justin Jefferson is behind Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, and St. Brown.
Travesty.
Nope. I like St. Brown. I like St. Brown.
I like
a
St.
lot.
Brown too. I think he's a very good wide receiver. And he's very underrated in a lot of leagues.
yeah.
However, the guy missed half the year last year. Half. And I'm not talking about 3 or 4 games. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 games. I'm talking about 8 freaking games. This guy missed, and he still had a 1,000-yard receiving season. And it's not like he's going up against chump change. The second half of the season, the Vikings actually played really good opponents, and he played with, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 different quarterbacks. 4. And you're going to sit here and tell me that he's not.
I'm not. ESPN is.
ESPN, you're dumb. You're dumb.
This is where they got, and this is from mock drafts. So like where everybody picks, they just average it all out. But CD Lamb at 2. CD Lamb at 2.
That's a little bit of a stretch.
That's horrible.
That's a stretch.
To a guy that doesn't even, he might not even play this year
because of his contract. Yeah. I'm just gonna say this about Justin Jefferson, that we can let it go. I will say this.
You're not going to hear any arguments from me for
Oh,
Justin
okay.
Jefferson.
Okay.
I like
All
Jefferson.
right, I'll leave it alone then. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, that is our fantasy.
What about
football.
Barkley? What are your thoughts on Barkley in Philly?
I don't think he's gonna do as well.
I think he's going to run angry. He came from New York. He saw Hard Knocks. That is enough to piss somebody off.
I mean, he's.
And I guarantee you he's going to be running angry. And Hurts is there to push him. And you're not going to find, like, Hurts might not be the best quarterback in the NFL, but you will never find a better leader than Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
He is that guy. and everybody respects him. And if Hurts will push him to be the absolute, this is Barkley's best year. I'll mark it.
My thing is with how athletic Jalen Hurts is, like yeah, you're not wrong, but I question
How athletic is Barkley?
oh yeah, he's insane. He's
Yeah.
always been insane. I mean, from the moment that guy hurdled the dude in his rookie year, I was like, he's back, he's good. And then I think what was his second year he tore his ACL, but after that he's Saquon Barkley. He's a stud. Like I'm not gonna ever. There's days I just go back and watch Saquon Barkley college highlights because he's a flipping stud, So I just think that it's my only question with that is the Eagles' offense really does revolve around Jalen Hurts. If he's on, the entire team is on.
Kind of, to a point. I think they've gotten away from that a little bit, and I think that's why they struggled. But I think they're going to make adjustments, and they're going to be better because the wide receiving core is going to step up and be better. And now that with Barkley, you're going to have to put some people in the box,
Yeah,
or Barkley's going to run all over you.
yeah, that's true. I mean, and the receivers are no slouches either. So even though what was it? Who's the really skinny one for him? I forgot off the top of my head.
Brown, Devontae Brown,
AJ Brown. No, AJ Brown's
not
stacked.
not AJ Brown. Devontae Smith. Yeah.
He is a string bean, but he can run a 4.3. So it's like, all right.
So, okay, let's cut it there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching our fantasy football. We'll have more fantasy football for you very shortly. Check in with us tomorrow, and we should have something else up.
Tomorrow.
Yep. All right. So, thank you guys for watching First Amendment Media Fantasy Sports. We should have, what should I say?
Like and subscribe, dude.
yeah.
We're gonna get.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching First Amendment Media Fantasy Sports. Like and subscribe with more fantasy football action coming right at you.
Good.
All right. Put it on. All right. Thank you guys for watching, tuning into First Amendment Fantasy Sports. We got a quick thing here. We're going to hit it for about 10 minutes. Just getting ready for the draft. I'm going to give Colton here just random players. He's going to tell me where they're drafted at, and then we're going to discuss if he's high or low.
Okay.
All right. Puka Nacua.
Ooh.
Hit it hard first right now. Is he going to have that sophomore slump?
No. I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I like Puka.
I think that based off of what he did in his rookie year and people's overreaction to it, I think that even though I say it's overreaction, I still think he's gonna have over 1,000 yards.
Where is he being drafted at?
I say second round,
Just give me a number.
like out of like what 30.
One out of whatever, how many draft picks. So you got your
I mean-
one. So second round, you got a 12 team. So usually you're 12 team in.
24.
So you're thinking 24?
I'm thinking like right away 24, like the first pick of the second round.
So that would be like
13th. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So I'm thinking 13 to 15 range.
11.
What? First
11.
round?
He's going in the first round, late first round. And he is, yeah. I don't think he's worth that.
I mean, early second maybe, but early first, dude. There's so many other good receivers on the board and players on the board.
All right.
Okay.
Second one, Isaiah Pacheco.
Ooh, he is gonna go.
He runs angry.
He runs.
You can see it. He runs violent.
Yeah, he is. He's got some issues.
But he's
Football is therapeutic for him, very much so. I would say, for him, I say late second.
so give me a number.
I'll say 20.
17.
Okay, I'm not that
That's
far off.
I
Yeah.
get that. I would pick if Pacheco was there at 17. I'd pick Pacheco.
Yeah, I would be
I
okay with
like
him at
Pacheco.
17, yeah.
He has a little bit of a fumbling issue, but a lot of these guys are tackling the ball.
Yeah, and by the time the second half of the season rolls around, he's that guy.
All right.
So,
Next guy, Devontae Adams.
ooh, okay, Devontae Adams, his targets, despite the fact that he's played with Aiden O'Connell, I'm going 5.
18, right behind Isaiah Pacheco.
How? This guy is 30 million years old and he's still putting up 100 catch, 1,000-yard seasons.
That
and
means
double-digit touchdowns.
So we're not going to go back to there. So that means A.J. Brown is ahead of him. St. Brown is ahead of him. Tyreek Hill is ahead of him. C.D. Lamb's ahead of him.
18.
Chase is ahead of him. Jefferson's ahead of him. Garrett Wilson is ahead of him.
Okay, he's gonna. All I'm gonna say is
Kyron Williams
I don't
is ahead
even know
of him.
who. He's the running back that did really good for the Rams last year. I forgot.
And behind him, right behind him, is Travis Kelce. It's Devontae
This
Adams
is
and
stupid.
Travis Kelce.
This is stupid.
Yep. And then Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne
Etienne,
rounds
dude,
it up
he's
at 20.
Dude, Travis Etienne's good.
Oh yeah, I agree. And then rounding out the second round is Sean Laporta at 24.
Dude, Laporta's one of the best tight ends in the league.
But after Laporta, here we go.
After Laporta. Okay.
Yes. No, I'm just gonna give you a name. Give me
Okay.
1 second. I'll give you Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Jalen Hurts, I'd go 28.
Nailed it. You got
Really?
28? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Patrick Mahomes.
Actually, yeah, we just talked about how he doesn't really go off. Because last year he sucked. Like statistically, he was horrible. No.
Without Kelsey, he would have been. Kelsey bailed that season out. Kelsey put on his big boy pants and just said, "Get on my back. We're gonna go win a Super Bowl."
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
And then he jumped on Taylor Swift's back and was like, "You guys gotta let us win a Super Bowl. All these Swifties are gonna be pissed. Like you can't mess with these girls."
No, you can't. Not with Swifties. Patrick Mahomes, 33.
25.
Wow.
I agree with that. Patrick Mahomes is a player that you know what you're getting. You're gonna get
Yeah.
25 points.
Yeah.
It's consistent. And
He's just not like he's not like his second year where he's going to put up 5-6 touchdowns a game.
nope. Cooper Kupp.
He's older. Puka Nacua is there. I'm going to go with 23.
Cooper Kupp is coming in at 47.
How in God's green earth is Cooper Kupp coming in at 47? That makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
He's still got it. When he's healthy,
Because
dude.
of Puka.
I
Puka's
know,
going
but-
high. I think what's happening is Puka's going high, and they don't want to double dip into the Cooper. Because once Puka's off the board, nobody's going to want to. Because then you're basically you're getting a second wideout. You're going to have to wait because that's what it is at this point. You don't want to. You're not going to go in and get a second running back or a second wideout early rounds, even though he's going to put up the numbers.
Yeah.
So, Derrick Henry.
This one is going to be dumb. I'm going to go with 43.
Derrick Henry's coming in at 16.
Okay, I was way off.
Yep.
I thought we were way down in the list. So okay, yeah,
No, I jumped
16.
back.
Okay, you're trying to play a little bit of
Oh
trickery.
yeah,
with me.
you gotta be trickery.
Okay, no, I agree with that because I mean he's getting a little bit up there, but he's also with a running quarterback now, so he's going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but and they're going to be a really good duo. It's just a matter of is he going to get his carries? Which
Do you think he's a solid pick there?
at 16, I think more in like the early 20s because again, it is.
So you're looking at late second round.
late second round because actually no, it's Derrick Henry. You can't just say late. You got to go early first. Second round. I'm sorry, you got to go early second. I think
Okay.
at the very least.
Jalen Waddle.
Oh God, Waddle, you screwed me last year
Oh,
so
yeah.
many times,
I got bailed out because I had Waddle too, and I just finally benched him.
dude.
And I watched 40-point games on the bench, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for it.
Dude, I'm so pissed. You sucked, Waddle. I'm going. So between Puka, I'm gonna go with. He still had 1,000 yards last season, so I'm gonna go with like. I don't know, 19.
45.
Jesus, yeah.
I think he's a value at 45. If you can get him at 45,
That's good value.
take him.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be Hill's last year, but I think Jalen Waddle will play a bigger part in this offense.
Yeah.
So I think Jalen Waddle at 45 is a solid pick.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. We're going to go late. We're going to go a little bit later. When do you pick Kyle Pitts?
I'm not picking fucking Kyle Pitts. 3 years. Where are you at, camera? 3 years. I have gotten screwed with Kyle Pitts. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, strike three. In the words of Michael Scott, I don't pick my Kyle Pitts. It's over. Okay. I'm going 60.
62.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not. My
I think
trust
that's
is
safe.
gone, Kyle.
If Kyle Pitts is available at 62,
I'd
do you
take
take
that.
him? You do
I'd
take him?
take 60, yeah. Because, I mean, the boom bust is still definitely there, especially now with Kirk Cousins. So at 60, 62, yeah, I'd take Kyle Pitts.
Dak
Oh,
Prescott.
God. I hate this one.
Remember, CeeDee Lamb might not play. You got to keep that in
This
there.
has got to be low. 39?
Dak Prescott comes in at 59.
Dang. That's rough. Dude, do you know Cowboy fans are irate right now? Cowboy fans are so pissed.
So at 59, I think I take Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I would take Dak Prescott at 59. Like, to be honest, I know that you're going to potentially miss out on CD Lamb, but the weapons he still has there, they're respectable, you know?
Evan Ingram.
That's another one. Evan Ingram and Kyle Pitts, you're dead to me. I'm gonna go with 70 for Evan Ingram.
58.
How is this
One
man?
ahead of Dak Prescott.
How is this man? Oh my, that doesn't make any sense.
Here's a good one. I don't think I take Evan Ingram at 58. I don't think I do. I think I pass.
Yeah, you pass.
I don't think I take him there.
Dude, I don't even know if I draft him. I just see if maybe if he's there one of these bye weeks.
If I can't get one of the top 3 tight ends, that means Andrews. Was it Eric? Good. Great.
Good.
What's the tight end?
For who?
Iowa.
Eric All?
Eric All. Yeah, Eric All, or maybe Hunter Henry. If I can't get like the top 4 tight ends, and obviously they think Ingram's one of the top 4. I don't. But I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna take a tight end late.
Is he still with the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's not going to have near the production because Kelvin Ridley's gone. You know, who are you relying on there? You know, I don't know.
Yeah. He's ahead of David. I'm gonna murder the last name. I always do. Njoku. He's ahead of Njoku.
How? Njoku's good.
Njoku's hurt.
Okay.
Just,
Gabe Davis isn't bad.
I think Gabe Davis is very underrated.
Yeah.
But I also think that Gabe Davis was flashes of brilliance, not consistent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Again, Stephon Diggs, prima donna. Yeah.
Diggs took a lot off of Gabe Davis.
He did, but I just,
I like Diggs. Tank Dell.
I love me some Tank Dell.
I know. That's why I asked.
I love me some Tank Dell. I'm going.
What is the highest you'd pick Tank Dell?
He's coming off a pretty brutal injury too. So, the highest without the injury or with?
Well, with. I mean, we can't play pretend here.
I want to because I really like Tank Dell. I'm gonna go with 38 for Tank Dell.
He's at 60 right now. He's fallen to 60.
I get it because
I think he's a steal at 60.
Oh my God, he's a steal. Because once he gets healthy, dude, he's immediately a top 15 wide receiver, no question.
What about Scary Terry?
Scary Terry. I've always liked Scary Terry.
I have too, and I think he's very underrated, and I think you can get him for very cheap.
68 is probably what he's rated.
78.
How is this man? He's a 1,000-yard catching machine. He has been starving for help there for a while. So no. If you get him at what is it?
78.
78. I take that all day.
Jordan Love.
Oh God. Division rival, great.
Good quarterback.
Good quarterback,
and
though.
very good young receivers. As long as it's the last part of the year for Watson, I think he's pretty solid. The first part of the year, Watson's horrible.
Is he 47?
Love's like 26, 27.
I don't know what I'm smoking. Yeah.
No. Oh, I thought you were talking about how his old.
No.
No.
What's he ranked?
Yes.
47?
You're going to go with 47?
Yeah.
Jordan Love is at 76.
Gee.
Steal.
That's steal. So, oh my.
Steal, keep him. I have him as a keeper. He will be a keeper until he retires. Jordan Love will be solid.
Yeah, no question.
What's your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? I don't have him pulled up. I don't know where he's picked at. What do you think Trevor a good pick for Trevor Lawrence would be?
This is it. I'll say this about Trevor Lawrence before we go into the fantasy stuff. This is it for Trevor Lawrence.
You don't go out and get a Mac Jones if you think
Trevor Lawrence is that guy.
Because Trevor Lawrence's contract is actually a trade me contract, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad contract for I wouldn't say top tier quarterback, but it's not a bad contract if, like, say a Dak would go, or say you can go out and get Trevor Lawrence for relatively reasonable for a quarterback that's going to get you by.
I think that this is it for him. Like playoffs are bust, definitely, and he needs to be a top 10, albeit top 8 statistical quarterback.
Right now, they have Trevor Lawrence at number 19 in the quarterbacks. They have Jaden Daniels at 12.
Okay, I believe in giving a lot of these rookie quarterbacks some,
So this is the list. And the top quarterbacks, the top 25, or top 32. We'll do the top 32. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. So Lamar's sitting at 4.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but okay.
Lamar's money. Like, he's going to get you so many points as far as
exactly.
fantasy football. CJ Stroud's at 5.
That I agree with.
Anthony Richardson at 6.
Okay, that one's I think a little bit high, but I think he deserves to be in the upper tier.
I think Joe Burrow,
He should be.
he
top.
should be top 3.
Yeah, he should be up there.
Especially now that he's blonde. Let's be real. What did he throw? Like 65 touchdowns last time he was blonde?
Yeah,
Like, come on now. Joe Burrow is the real deal.
yeah, he is.
If he stays healthy. Then you got Dak Prescott at 8.
Oh god, he deserves to be like 15.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, I think that's kind of a steal. I think he deserves to be a top, like at least top 12.
With the addition of Harrison, yeah. And then you got Jordan Love,
I agree with that.
Brock Purdy.
I
I think Brock Purdy is given way too much credit.
dude. He had 31 touchdowns last year, but it's because you have Debo, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have arguably one of the best tight ends in the game.
And
You've
you
got
have
a
the
really
best-
good offensive line.
You have
and
the best
back.
running back in the game.
Yeah,
Let's
it's-
be real.
I think he's too much love.
Then you got Jaden Daniels at 12.
Too high.
Yep. And Aaron Rodgers at 13.
It was still too high.
Caleb Williams at 14. You have Jaden Daniels. They have Jaden Daniels ahead of Caleb
That doesn't
Williams.
make any sense to me.
Caleb Williams is a huge question mark to me.
Yeah, he's a question mark, but none of these rookie quarterbacks deserve to be in the top 15, if you ask me. I think you have to prove it first.
Yeah, I agree. But if you're going to take, I wouldn't use a high pick on a rookie quarterback just because you never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
So,
You don't know if they're going to start or not. Yeah.
and then Tua's at 15 over Justin Herbert at 16.
Wait.
Herbie's at 16. Thank you, quarterback gods, because
You hate her.
I don't hate Herbert. Justin Herbert has been overrated for since he's been a rookie. He is a remake of Jay Cutler.
I think he is a better version of Jay Cutler.
I don't. Jay Cutler is funny. Justin Herbert sucks. He's not a funny human being. And I don't know if it's because he's a Charger and the fan base is so bad for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think Justin Herbert is the guy. I really wish that the Vikings would have went out and got Herbert, because then I would have liked to see what Herbert would have done with that receiving core.
That would have been
And then
pretty
I think that would have been something I would like to see.
That would have been pretty
But
nasty.
they didn't really help Herbert a lot.
Not really, no.
And Harbaugh's a stickler, and he's a defensive guy.
Yeah,
The defense is going to be what's
Yeah.
going to be.
That's what
Paid
you're
attention
going to
to.
write home about. Yep.
Jared Goff at 17.
Jared Goff, I love you, Jared Goff, but
I think that's a pretty good deal at 17.
I don't know. I think 20 is more astute because he's not a bad quarterback. It's just that,
He's going to be consistent with weapons.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, I need to stop the Jared Goff hate. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins at 18, and that is a steal because he will be a top 10 quarterback.
That one, because of his weapons and I just can't. I can't like the man. I'm sorry. I can't. Not anymore. The Coles cash, it's over. The Coles cash is all out, Kirk.
Trevor Lawrence at 19. Like you said before, I think he has to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like
Playoffs are butts. It's over.
And Mac Jones isn't bad. I'm telling people. I've been screaming this for years. Mac
Who is
Jones
this
is
man-
not bad.
Who has this guy played with the last 3 years? Like that is like put up a number one wide receiver of the Patriots over the last 3 years. That's a true number one.
They don't have one.
Exactly.
Mac Jones doesn't have one.
Yeah.
And when he was running a decent offense, built by an offensive coordinator, not a defensive coordinator,
Josh
or
McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels, not a special teams guy that was chewing on pens and wearing stupid shirts to piss off Roger Goodell, or destroying the Lions.
Feel a little targeted with the pen chewing thing, but yes.
No, but destroying the Lions franchise until
Oh, yeah.
they fix that.
Oh, Matt
But,
Patricia?
Yeah, that's who was calling the plays
Oh,
for Mac
God.
Jones. And then we sit there and go, Mac Jones is horrible. Mac Jones is not a bad quarterback. Is he Drake May? I think we're better off with Drake May. I really do. I love Mac Jones, but I think Drake May is going to be a better quarterback.
I do,
But if you give Mac Jones a shot in a decent offense, Mac Jones will succeed, and Mac Jones will be the guy that's going to throw 30 touchdowns and have 12 interceptions. You,
Who would
guys,
you rather
they
have?
forget he was going to be rookie of the year. He outplayed Trevor Lawrence the rookie year.
Who would you rather have? Mac Jones or Baker Mayfield?
Mac Jones
Over Baker Mayfield?
over Baker Mayfield, and I love Baker Mayfield.
I love Baker Mayfield.
I think Baker Mayfield is an amazing human being. I have met Baker Mayfield in Deadwood, South Dakota, a couple times, and
No shit?
yeah, and Baker Mayfield is
Where?
just around.
He's just walking around.
Yeah,
When was this?
his wife is they have like a house up here or something. So she's from like Nebraska, I think.
Really?
And then they used to come up here for the summers.
Wow.
And so he's been up here quite a bit, and so has a tight end for the Washington Redskins a while ago. Was always up here.
What was his name?
I don't remember. He's the one that caught
Austin Collie? Or
no.
Cooley?
Yeah,
Really? The one that punched through the
the
just caught it
drywall
like
and
that?
caught
I'm
it.
like,
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep, he was there.
Dude, that's cool.
I met him a couple times when I worked at the 10.
He's a boy.
He's an awesome human being.
Really? Cool.
Awesome human
Cool.
being. So is Baker. Baker's an awesome human being as
Baker,
well.
but you Mac Jones over Baker.
Yep. Because Mac Jones.
He's not a bad quarterback. I don't think
No,
he's a bad
he's
quarterback.
not.
I think he just had no help.
Yep. Geno's, and then they got Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Jackson, or so Stafford after Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's gonna be the guy in Cleveland. I don't.
Jameis. It's
I think,
Jameis
yeah,
time.
It's yeah. And then Baker Mayfield in Tampa. I like Baker in Tampa.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
think he's a good fit. I think he's going to get him to the playoffs, but he's not going to get him any further than that.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, their defense has to
Yeah.
really improve if they're going to do that.
And then they got J.J. McCarthy with
Oh, boy.
Minnesota at 23,
God.
ahead of Bryce Young.
I mean, Bryce Young needs to do some. I mean, honestly, he has no help. His offensive line is worse. The worst offensive line. Did you watch any of their offensive
He just
line?
runs for his life.
Yeah,
It's
he
like,
has no choice.
It's like a middle school kid going on a high school
Dude,
varsity practice.
I feel so bad for the guy because pick number one to a horrible team, no help.
And not trying to get better.
No, they did. What did they do? What did they do in the draft that really showed me they're trying to get nothing because they traded everything away for him in the first place? And it's like, you can't, like, you know, I don't know.
And then after Bryce Young, you have Drake May. At
May.
25, 26.
McCarthy over May. I don't.
The only reason I see that is because they trust Jacoby Brissett in that offense more than they trust Sam Darnold in that offense. The Vikings are going to push McCarthy. McCarthy will be starting by week 3, week 4. And if they're not, then that means
That means Darnold's balling.
and then my sleeper is good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're not, they're going to call for McCarthy faster than the Patriots fans will be calling for.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, because Darnold, I understand he's looking good now, but all it takes is one.
It's the defense. The defense of New England will keep them in games, and they'll win close games because of Brissett. Brissett can put up 14 points, and if they would have put up 14 points in all their games, New England would have been in the playoffs.
I think Brissett can put up 21.
Ooh, do you? I think with Gibson, I think that's going to be good. And then you have Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh. I can't
Let's
do
steal.
Russ. Yeah, let's steal one. I don't think Russell Wilson's going to play. I think it's
Justin Fields.
It's going to be Fields' team. I think Justin Fields has.
Wow.
He had a bad rap.
He
in
did.
Chicago.
He really did. He had no help, and now don't you have to feel like
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones? Yeah, and this is what gets me too is, don't you just hate it? Like if we were talking about okay, so you have an ex-girlfriend that just kind of goes off or whatever, and it's just like the guy she left you for. It's just like, okay, you know what? I actually feel a little bit better about the situation.
I think Justin Fields is better than Caleb Williams.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, and I honestly, I understand people are trying to like hype up the man. I got to see him play.
I can't get behind it. USC, you weren't great at USC.
His sophomore year was, but this last year
Notre Dame destroyed him.
The main reason for that was because he was trying to play hero ball when none of his defense was horrible. Horrible.
Notre Dame's defense ate Caleb Williams up, and that is one of the closest professional defenses that Caleb Williams saw in college football was Notre Dame.
Who did he have? Who was he throwing the ball to? Is my
It
question.
doesn't matter.
But doesn't matter. We just
Who's
had a
he throwing to the
conversation
ball
about
now?
Mac Jones and about how he.
Yeah,
didn't
but
have
who's
any
he
help.
throwing to the ball now? They haven't got
Odunze, he's got DJ Moore, he's got
Odunze. Yeah, I think he could be good, but on the same note, Odunze,
Keenan Allen?
what did he do in the national championship game? What did Odunze do in the national championship game when he got locked down?
because they got behind early and
And then he throw the ball.
then Michael
What do you
Penix-
think's going to happen?
Michael Penix,
What do you think's going to happen in Chicago? They're not going to get behind early.
it was the best defense in the college football. Michigan.
Yeah.
Best defense in college football. So
But you don't think that the Chicago Bears are going to get behind early, and they're going to
they're
have to
gonna
throw
be
the
behind all the
That's what I
time.
mean. They're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to be able to. There's more lockdown corners than there is in college football.
all I'm saying is that I just have to see the men play first before I'm going to go out and cast dispersion. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't think that. I don't. Think
I do
that
think
Caleb,
that the-
Caleb
the-
Williams is not worth the hype.
The nail polish does throw me off.
I don't care about that. That makes no difference. But yeah, he's not worth the hype. Not in my opinion.
Man,
And I hope he
Paul's
proves me
throwing me
wrong.
off. Yeah.
I hope he sees this and he's like, yeah, that guy from South Dakota, screw
F
that
off,
guy.
yeah.
But so then we got Russell Wilson, Geno Smith at 27. I agree. He's one of the worst ones in the league. Like he has.
He's done writing.
Yep. He should be writing, and they should be writing back. Bo Nix at 28. That is a steal. That is a steal at 28 because you're going to be able to get him the last couple rounds, sneak in Bo Nix. I think that is a steal. I like Bo Nix.
I don't think he's gonna. I just don't think he's. I've watched the guy in college. We have seen it with quarterback after quarterback.
You know who Bo Nix reminds me of? Baker.
No.
Yeah. Except a
No.
faster Baker Mayfield.
No.
Yep.
No.
How?
No.
Tell me how not.
Because Baker Mayfield was not as much of a system quarterback as Bo Nix.
Bo Nix isn't a system
The
quarterback.
hell he isn't.
No.
Look at all of Marcus Mariota. Look at the freaking entire history of Oregon. How do you not say that entire offense is built around being a system? It's built with receivers that stretch the field, running backs that can run the outside zone,
You
and
literally
a quarterback
just
that
described
can.
90% of college football.
I'm saying that it's a system offense that.
Bo Nix is he's a tough kid,
Oh,
and you can't teach
No,
that.
no,
That's
I'm
what I
not
mean is
debating that.
With Baker Mayfield, you're going to have to drag Baker off the field. Baker will play hurt. I bet he would play with a broken arm.
I love Baker Mayfield. I'll never forget how he played. What did we play when he played Kansas? And just why not? I love Baker Mayfield. I really do.
This gets better. I want to get down to Will Levis at 29. That's also a steal.
Yeah.
I think Will Levis is,
Yeah.
if you can grab him at 29. Justin Fields at 30. And then I'm going to jump to 32 real quick.
Okay.
Daniel Jones at 32.
Wait, Daniel Jones. That is actually true.
Daniel Jones at 32, Kenny Pickett at 34, and then Michael Penix at 35. Now, I want you to guess the number 31 quarterback in fantasy football according to ESPN.
Mac Jones.
Nope. The number 31 quarterback in fantasy football according to ESPN.
Who do you get this hyped about? I'm trying to think. It's not Mac Jones. I don't know who the hell else it could be.
Mac Jones is way out. I think Mac Jones isn't even in the top 50.
Who's 31?
Tom Brady.
Get the fuck out of here. He's done.
Tom
it's over.
Brady is ahead of Daniel Jones.
That's so funny.
Trace McSorley, a free agent, is ahead of Kenny Pickett
I love it.
and Penix.
Penix, I'm excited to see what Penix does.
Yeah,
I think he should play right away.
I like Hendon Hooker. I wish they would
Yeah,
do
I
something
know.
with Hooker.
Yeah, I do too. I think that I never wish ill upon
Ooh.
somebody, but I would like to see more from get what? What?
39.
39.
I knew we were missing somebody.
Gardner Minshew.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek.
That's rough. It's funny in a way, but it's not funny because Derek Carr is a good human being.
Yeah, I think
And I don't
overall.
want to hate him. I wish he would do better in New Orleans, but they're not setting him up to do
Not
anything.
really. Now his defense didn't really get a whole lot better, and his weapons. I mean, they're not horrible, but yeah, coaching sucks. Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, I am wondering where. So you got Teddy Bridgewater. There's a lot of people.
He's not even in the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
He's coaching a high school team in Miami.
Well, I'm just letting you know he's Kyle Trask. Joe Milton's at 77. Will Greer at 78.
Joe Milton. Okay.
Minshew. Nick Foles.
Minshew should be at least top 50.
Come on.
Maybe not top 50. Aiden O'Connell. Like neither one of them.
I'm interested to see where Jones fell. Okay. Jacoby Brissett is 126. Sam Darnold is 125. Gardner Minshew is 128.
Oh God.
Brian Hoyer is 119.
How is Tom Brady 31? That's mean.
I love it.
He's
I
not
love
even
it.
on the list. He's not even playing anymore.
So basically, the starters for my team, the New England Patriots, and your team, Aiden O'Connell, and Gardner Minshew.
They've been hating on him all
So
offseason.
just randomly, Brian Hoyer is better according to ESPN. This is just according to ESPN.
It's not. He's
Brian
not.
Hoyer, AJ McCarron, Nick Mullins.
He's not though.
No, Trevor Simeon, Malik Willis. Malik Willis is at 106.
Who's Malik Willis again? Oh yeah, dude. What happened to Malik Willis? Yeah.
I liked Malik Willis a lot, but then they went out and got Levis.
Yeah.
So, and I don't see Mac Jones.
Yeah, I don't either. He's not on there.
No, I don't think he is.
That's disrespectful.
Jake Fromm is on there.
Oh my, State Farm, the State Farm guy, really?
Easton. Huntley is good.
Huntley's not bad.
I think Huntley would be actually probably
He's the quarterback 3 of the Raiders right now.
he's a Cleveland Brown. Huntley. Then Jaron Hall is at 93. I think Jaron Hall should get a fair shake.
He did, and then he sucked.
Yeah, but at least he's.
He airmailed a flipping ball into the 3rd row and hit somebody that was eating popcorn, dude. No, he's done. The Mormon Missile. That's what we called him.
Gardner Minshew.
I love you, Gardner. I really do.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up that. That was a little bit longer than we thought. Take it as you will. I think there's some solid picks. I think ESPN is pretty on the spot with some of these. Some of these I think are going to be a steal if you can get them late in the rounds. But take that information and do what you will with it. Thank you for watching First Amendment Media Fantasy Sports. If you have any comments or if you think we're just complete idiots, just leave it down in the comments. We love the hate. So let us know what you guys think or a player that you might think is undervalued or overvalued down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you.